that will attract, recruit, create, and retain loyal customers. Now, what Stratnisa does not want that in her business? Miss Keisha L. Allen, welcome to the I Can and I Will Telesummit.
How are you, Miss Leslie?
I am fantabulous. So looking forward to this conversation about purpose branding. So talk to me about what is this purpose branding?
Well, purpose branding, it's personal branding, I always say, without all the extraness, without all that extra stuff. You know, personal branding, anybody can build a personal brand if you have a great marketing team, if you're really creative. But purpose branding, you got to know who you are, what you were called and designed to do, what your gifts are, your life experiences speak to. It's a call to action. It's an action-oriented brand.
Awesome. Absolutely. Love it. Love it. So when we talk about how do we begin to differentiate, if, for those Stratnisas that are on the line, how do we begin to differentiate ourselves, with this distinctive brand? What are some steps? Share with us just get the conversation started. Just talk to us a little bit about what are some first steps when it comes to purpose branding.
Well, purpose branding, there's a number of steps that I take people through when I'm helping them to build a purpose brand. But first and foremost, before we get too deep into that, I want to talk to everyone tonight about purpose and the importance of identifying your gifts, your talents, and your skills, and walking in your true, authentic self. That is where you will find your true purpose brand. It's time out for, waiting for somebody to tell you, okay, wait, you can't be that. You got to do this over here. So many of us are confused. I'm running into women every single day, and they are simply confused, don't know where to go, who to turn to, what to do, all because they know deep down on the inside, in the pit of their stomachs, who they want to be, who they were called to be, but life has given them so much extraness and so much stuff that it's got them confused. And so what I want people to understand today, purpose branding is not just for the business owner that wants more customers. It's not just for the professional that needs to attract more clients. Purpose branding is for that person who says, I want to live all out. Or if I don't want to waste any part of this life, we can't figure out how to really use it or how to capitalize on it or how to implement it into every single thing that we're doing every day. So more than anything, I want to see women stop simply existing in this life. Stop just showing up at work clocking in as a secretary. Stop just showing up at work clocking in as a CEO. Stop just being the sales, the marketing person. Those are just titles. When you understand your purpose brand, you stand up in and you operate in a new level of life. You are operating in what you were designed or created to do. And more than anything, ladies, hear me. You have impact. I saw a lady the other day, and she and I have been talking via email or whatever, and I met her for the first time last week. And she wrapped her arms around me, and she said, oh, my God, thank you so much for all you've done. Thank you for your help. Thank you for pointing this out, that, and the other. And as I'm standing there listening to her, someone else walks up and she introduces herself to them because her boss sent them over to meet her. And she said, oh, I'm nobody. I'm just the administrative assistant. And I look at her and I say, let me explain something to you. You are not just the administrative assistant. You are director of first impressions. Let me explain something to you. If you suck when I meet you initially, I'm going to believe that your company sucks. If you are a woman of integrity, a woman of excellence, if you follow through and you are a woman of your word, I'm going to say, you know what, wow, I need to be connected to that company because if this is the first impression that I get, oh my God, what can I expect from leadership? So, ladies, we have to stop playing small. We have to stand up in our purpose. We have to develop our purpose brand because when you do so, You use everything inside of you. And the biggest thing that I want you to understand as we move into how to do this, the biggest thing that I want you to understand, ladies, you have everything you need in this life to be successful. You already have it. Now, your education enhances it. Your experiences at work enhances it. Everything that you add to only enhances what you already have. So, when I talk to you today, ladies, I'm talking to you from a space because when I first identified what I was called to do, because let me make this clear to you. We were all created with the same purpose, and that is to glorify God. Now, your call within that purpose, or the vehicles in which you use to fulfill that purpose, that's a different question. What are your gifts? What are your talents? What do you have to fulfill the purpose of glorifying God? And so today as I talk to you, I'm talking to you from a space of, I've been there. I did it. I feel you. I'm not standing here judging, saying, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that. Been there. And still working on mine, still building it, still truly understanding who I was designed to be. So I feel your anguish. I feel your pain. For those of you that are sitting on those jobs every single day, barely making it from day to day, simply existing, settled in mediocrity, watching this life pass you by, yearning for more, with purpose bubbling down on the inside of you, unfulfilled, stuck. That was me 2 years ago. I found myself in your shoes. My mind, my heart, my soul, my spirit, everything in me, desiring, wanting. No. I'm going to take that back. Needing more. I was broke, and I'm not talking financially. I was broke spiritually. I was broke mentally. I was tired. I was worn down. And I was really unaware of who I was, but bigger than that, whose I was and what I had access to. Trying to find the right thing to fill the void. And the funny thing about it, guys, the funny thing about this, as you begin to build your purpose brand, some of you may be sitting on your job, you at the top of your game, because I was. I was at the top of my game on my job. Happily married, my friends, my family, all my relationships good. Everything externally was on point. But internally, I had so much turmoil. I was unfulfilled. And I said that I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my gifts, my talents were. But the funny thing is that I really did. My issue was that I didn't see how that thing, I didn't see it as being important. Because the thing about me is I'm energetic. I'm loving. I'm nurturing. I'm a servant. I will stop my day. If it means that you need someone to speak life into you, I will stop everything that I'm doing and speak life into you. But wait a minute. How can you use that? And I would ask myself all the time, because I knew what the gifts were. But I would always ask myself, how can I make money doing this? How can I live off of this gift? But the funny thing is, guys, I had always been living off of that gift. That's why I was the director of member services. That's how I ended up there. The gift made room for me. So as we begin to build purpose brands, ladies, this thing is not simply about personal branding. This isn't, I'm just going to stand up and say, I am the diva of happiness, or I'm just going to stand up and say, I'm a business and relationship strategist, or I am a personal lifestyle coach. It's not about that. This thing is deep. It's going down to the nitty-gritty, going back to your childhood, digging through your life experiences, good, bad, or indifferent. All of those things should be considered as you begin to build a purpose brand. Because keep in mind, people, a purpose brand is designed with purpose in mind. So it takes everything you are, everything you were created to be, to build it. So with that being said, I mean, if any of you are interested, I do have the Purpose Branding Workbook on my website. It's only $14.99. And if you want to take it to the next level and do a one-on-one session, I have the workbook with the session for $99. You know, my ultimate goal in all that I do, when God gave me purpose branding, it was because I had found myself in that place. And I always teach ladies, men, all of my clients, I teach them that really it's not about being a chef. If you're a chef, it's not really about being a chef because there are 1,000 chefs out there. So what is it that separates you from all your childhood? Many of us, at that place when we were children, we knew exactly the things that we were designed to do, and we were operating in it full, all out, no excuses. You know, I often tell people, when I was a little girl, I spent my days pulling people together, rallying people. I spent my days putting together talent shows. But I wasn't just putting together talent shows. I would get my cousins, my friends, my sisters, and I would say, hey, okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to dance because, oh, my God, you're the best dancer in the world. I'm going to put you over here. You're going to dance, and then I'm going to give you the mic because you don't sing. Oh, man, you can sing so good. And I would rally people together, and I would speak to their gifts and have them operating in their gifts, and we would put on talent shows. We would have so much fun. When I taught, I always played teacher. When I played teacher, I was the teacher. I made my own worksheets, and I sat down with you, and I explained it. When you got something wrong, I sat down and I explained it line by line, precept upon precept. I explained it, you know. And when I go back and I look at my childhood, it speaks to everything I am today as an adult and everything that I love. But the issue was, as I got older, things changed. And so I got confused as to what I was created to do because people didn't accept me. We spend so much time in that arena from our past, not understanding that in our past, we learned lessons. We overcame. There are things that you overcame, that you learned, that you should be using to teach someone else. That speaks to who you were created to be. You know, I always say, look at the biggest areas of struggle that you've had in your lifetime. For me, my biggest area of struggle was marriage and business. Those were my two biggest areas of struggle. And everything that I learned, I now use to pour back into the lives of other women and teach them so that we can shorten the learning curve. And they don't have to fight through as much as I did. So with that, I encourage each of you to go back, look at your childhood, look at your past as you begin to consider your brand. Don't just pull something out of the sky and say, because I'm a secretary, I'm going to brand myself as Secretary of Defense. That ain't going to work. That's not going to work. Let's really start speaking to the purpose, the passion that we have inside of us. Another way to build your purpose brand is to really sit down and from 1 to 20, just take 10, 15 minutes and just write down every word that you can think of to describe yourself, to identify your skills, your gifts, your talents. Just write it down. And then when you finish, think about it as you write, because when you finish, go back and you circle all the words where they're coming out with what people are saying about you. Because I always tell people, people are telling you what they value in you. People are telling you what you were called to do. People are, and I won't even say telling you, they are confirming for you what you were created to do. So think about that as you begin to build your purpose brand. And there are a number of different processes that go into this, because at the end of this full process, what you will have is you will have 3 or 4 things that speak to who you are. Another component that the fourth thing that I always encourage people to do is take a spiritual gift assessment. You are doing yourself a disservice by not knowing what your spiritual gifts are. If you at this point, you know, for me, at the end of the day, if you don't know what your spiritual gifts are, you are doing yourself a disservice. Take the spiritual gift test. It's absolutely free. If you are interested in that, send me a message on Facebook, email me, whatever you need to do, and I will get that link over to you. I also have access to a DISC personality assessment, and it will speak to your personality traits. And it'll kind of give you more insight on some of your personality traits and how you operate. And it'll make it easier for you to effectively work with others as well. So give me a call to get access to those. I always encourage everybody, do the assessment. And many times what you'll find is all of your assessments line up. And when that's the case, it's like you hear angels singing, like, ah, that's it. You hit the nail on the head. So you want to see everything line up, and then you want to look at it and say, this is it. But more than anything, ladies, I want to encourage each of you to live fully. Live. Quit settling for mediocrity. You can do this thing. You wouldn't have the desire to do it if you couldn't. This is you only get one life. Ladies, you have to shift your mindset. That's a huge part of operating in a personal brand. You have to shift your mindset. Because many of us are finding ourselves stuck because of all this subconscious clutter that we aren't even mindful of. It's keeping us from playing all out in this life. And you know what? I always tell people, the one thing that I know without a shadow of a doubt, when my life comes to an end, you will not be able to say, Keisha did not show up for life. Because I show up every day in expectation, open to whatever life brings my way. And yes, every now and then I still get scared, but you know what's scarier for me? The scariest thing for me is not living. That's even scarier. That's the scariest thing for me to think about is what if. Keisha, if I had only went over here to this scene, oh my God, I would have been the one that they picked. Ah, man, if I would have just did that, then maybe I would have been the one. The one thing I am determined to do is not live a what-if life. I show up every single day ready to play. And I encourage you to surround yourself with people that are doing the exact same thing. Guys, fill your head with good things. It'll motivate you. It'll push you. Especially in the areas where you find yourself stuck, start to listen to self-help audio. Read self-help books. And the biggest self-help book of them all is the Bible. Pull it out. Whatever you have to do, surround yourself with good people. People that you want to mirror. People, and I won't even say mirror because you should always keep your own true authenticity. But surround yourself with people that are going places you want to go, that are doing things that you would like to do. Surround yourself with good people. And that don't mean leave all the sad, broke, hungry, hurt people off to the side. Because you still need those people as well. Those people play a role in your life. But ladies, pour into yourself. Every morning you wake up, you should be standing in the mirror saying, you know what? I am a speaker. I am an author. You know what? Even bigger than that. I am a God designer original. I am Keisha. There is no other Keisha like this one. I am. Anything you want to be, start introducing yourself as such. If you are a secretary right now, but you know deep down in the pit of your belly that you were called to be an author, every time you show up, say, I'm a secretary at such and such, but I'm an author. Introduce, and honestly, you need to start introducing yourself the way you want people to know you. If you want to be known as an international author, I am an international author. I am. Speak it into your own life if nobody else will. So ladies, today, if I can leave you with anything, step out of your comfort zone. Live. And it doesn't mean that you have to jump out of an airplane today. That's not what I'm asking you to do. Because I always tell people, even when I was doing the work that I didn't want to do, I felt as if I was walking around every day with a bungee cord attached to my waist. I never knew at what moment I was going to jump. But I knew that at any given moment, I was there. I was standing on the edge of a cliff just looking down, waiting for the right countdown so that I could jump. Live every day to the fullest. And before I go, I want to invite each of you to join us on October 26th at 5 p.m. Sonia J. Wells and I have a program called Two Women and the Elephant. And at this event, you have the opportunity to connect with other like-minded women and have conversations that will change your life. Ladies, start talking through your stuff. Start talking through it. We got to get this stuff out so that we can move out of these stuck places. I want to see each of you at the top. I want to see each of you standing next to me on red carpet, standing next to me on stages if that's what you were created to do. If you were created to serve, I want to see each of you serving in the capacity you were called to serve. Whatever the gift, there's no gift small, big or small, they're all